Hey guys, what's going on? Steve and I have my 2008 Jeep Wrangler here in the shop. We're getting ready to put a radiator in it. What I'll do is, in the description of the video, I'll put a bunch of timestamps in there so you can fast forward to certain parts of the video, or rewind if you need to so you can see what we did and kind of go back and forth to make it easier on you. I got this radiator from extremetrain.com. It says on it over 40 million sold. It probably was all to Jeep owners like myself. It's pretty common to replace these radiators of this Jeep, so Steve and I are going to dive into it. We'll get filming and let's go.
All right, we're going to get going on Tony's 08 Jeep Wrangler. We're going to pull the radiator out and change it out, and we get some button plugs. We're going to remove the grille for starters. The petcock is facing the front of the radiator. We're trying not to take that cover off underneath if we don't have to. So we're going to get all these button plugs out here and then get this grille off. Replaced one of these plugs at one time with a little bit of a different one, so I think the rest of them have these regular push button plugs here that we can just get underneath and pop out. We got the little edge right here you get under, button up, we can get the glove pulls down on the bottom. They got some snap retainer clips and you can pull them out. And we have to make sure about the disconnect the two parking lamps down here. This one. Get the grill off. We got a bunch of retainer clips. We're going to start digging into these and pulling these off. Squeeze these and they pull up the plug.
That's a snap-on tool, huh, Steve?
Yeah, that's a Blue Point. Yeah, it's nice. So,
you can use like a regular trim.
oh yeah, I have my other trim tool I was using.
Tool that's a little simpler than this.
Put this cover up here. We're going to take the air cleaner off. The housing has to come out as well. So we got a couple snap clamps here, and we've got our clamp over here. And undo this connector right here. Clean that out of the way. Right in, rolls backward.
Oh, I get you.
Alright, let's pull that up. The air cleaner out. Housing is just held in with some rubber grommets here.
Just be able to pull it right up and out.
Yeah. This is the overflow line for the surge tank, and this is going to have to come out as well. And this is just sitting in the slide here, but the upper radiator hose is probably going to be in the way.
Yeah.
And it's still full of coolant right now because it's red hot because Tony just got here.
It just pulls right up and out.
There's a little lock right here. I was locking into, and let's just slide down both of them.
Okay.
It'd be easy to go back in with the hose off, but we haven't drained the coolant yet. We're trying to get down to it. Right here, you just squish down on this.
Okay.
Right there, and it comes off.
Sure.
Now there's a tab that's holding this on down here somewhere. Right here, it's this little plug right here.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna push that with our little tool here. Try and
this.
get it so that it doesn't break.
Good luck with that. The book says he breaks it.
Hey. Well, luckily it's red hot, Tony. It's nice and flexible.
Yeah.
Right?
Just get off the interstate.
Didn't break.
There you go.
Did not break. Okay, so we got that disconnected. 5/16 here. And 5/16 over there. I'm going old school with my old air ratchet.
So taking off the splash guard in the front, we've got to get at the petcock. The petcock on this vehicle is facing the front of the vehicle, and to get this out of your face, it's going to be easier to get at the petcock, to drain it and get out the other plugs we need to get out, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Let's put the petcock facing the wrong way, put a bunch of cheap freaking rivets in it. We'll call it a day. That's Chrysler for you. And we don't sell auto parts like some of the other guys on YouTube. We're just having fun and showing you how to fix shit. Right, Steve? So we can say whatever the hell we want.
And this is what we call having fun.
Yeah, this is what we call having fun the Jeep way. So we got 2 more plastic rivets on the other side. There's one on this end, and then there's one down the other end as well.
Yeah, and if they don't come out, just cut them and replace them. See, this one on thread. Let's try the other one. I'm trying to hope that they unthread a little bit so you can get underneath them. And if you can't, like this one's just spinning in there, we're just gonna cut them.
Okay. So you should have 3 plugs at the bottom of this holding the fan motor in.
It attaches to the fan motor. It's like the little
Yeah.
dust shield here, and you're gonna pop these out because it's going through the plastic of the fan shroud, and it stopped us from pulling the fan up.
And then I'm missing one on one end.
Yeah, I'm gonna put another one in. One down.
Everything's nice and plasticky. There you go. All right,
Okay,
so
so there's 2 of these.
yeah,
One is broke, so now the fan's loose.
yeah.
So we can go up and take the fan out. Now, we were looking, petcock is a pain in the ass to get to because we had to take the cover off to get in here. And look where they decided to put it.
So at the front of the Jeep.
And it's right here.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. So, you know, you really can't access this thing.
You can probably go through the front bumper right here, Steve. Where I'm looking, there's a big void. So you can get your hand in there, probably a pair of pliers and turn that.
All right, so we got the some leaves and debris in the way here. I don't
Pine
know.
needles.
So we're gonna loosen the petcock here. Got a long pair of pliers, see if I can twist this thing open. Can't really get your hands in here. It's a tough squeeze here. Boy, I don't want to move very easily, I'll tell you that.
No?
Nope. Let me get another. Yeah, I gotta get some. There she goes.
There you go.
We're gonna take the radiator cap off very slowly. And now the coolant's gonna drain faster. Alright, so we can take our fan out now. So we got our hose clamp tool, we're gonna put it on. Squeeze it down. Goes off. Take both of them off now. Get the upper hose off. Yeah, we're gonna let this drain a little more so we don't make a mess. So we got a couple more button plugs we're gonna remove and pull these off. These rubbers are gonna come out at the end with the radiator. But we're kind of using them to get in at some of the bolts that we need to take out. And we're waiting for the radiator to finish completely draining down because it was pretty hot when Tony got here. So we got that. Now the condenser, the AC condenser on this one is cooling the transmission as well as the air conditioning system. So there's no training lines connected directly to the radiator. So kind of different. So I'm going to see if we can get this hose back a little bit more, making a mess. We're trying to get something in there to get that one.
Is that a 10-2?
Yeah, and there's one down here,
Okay.
2, and then there's 2 on the other side. Tight, I'm gonna just get in here with a little bit of pliers and pop it out. These are like almost like a self-tap, but they're pretty coarse, so.
But those are 8 millimeters and there's
Yeah.
4 of them. There's like
Yeah.
one in each corner.
Yeah, so now we got the ones up here to get. And then we got the one right here to get.
Yep.
So I'm gonna get a swivel, 4 to drive, and try and get them up. When we go back to the other ones to show them anyway, so we'll use a swivel one.
So we're using a swivel on these two.
Yeah.
8 mil swivel, 4 to drive.
A little button plug here that's holding this. Well, I think the shield on. So our horns are kind of in the way here.
Yep.
You can pull the radiator up and out a little bit.
There's an 8 mil right there.
Yeah, like this.
So we're gonna finish backing this bolt out of there, and we'll show you what's next.
10 millimeter for the power steering reservoir. Just really tight right here. So I'm gonna try and just kick it off to the side a little bit.
And make sure you loop that around the positive battery cable and hook it to the to the hood.
Okay. Okay, is there anything else that we forgot?
I have no idea. It's always something. Basically, just keep on bolting shit till it comes free.
Wow, this is tight, dude.
Alright, so we just broke it free and pulled it up and out. And there was a line over here it was getting stuck on. So you just got to make sure you're kind of pushing the lines out of the way, right, Steve?
Yeah.
So Steve's just transferring these rubber sleeves over to the new radiator.
Yeah. Rubber isolators here, like this. And we only have to modify just cutting this one stanchion up over here.
Yeah, there was a little tab that stuck up right under that, and Steve just trimmed it off.
This whole
right
stanchion here
there.
is not there on the other one. So we trimmed it, and it's gonna just allow us to still get our hole lined up here. So I'm comfortable with that. I think that's, hopefully it won't be hitting anything when we put it inside. We'll find out.
Oh, we find out.
Yeah.
So we just took a piece of sandpaper and cleaned up the surface where the new hose is going to go. It was a little pitted, and if that's the case with your Jeep, you're going to want to sand it out too, so to help prevent the leak.
As long as it feels smooth, it'll be fine. And it feels smooth. Okay. All right. Okay, it's centered. You want to keep it about 5/16 off the edge of the hose. We're going to tighten it there. And the only reason I flipped it over is because when you're changing the oil filter, I don't want it to get in the way.
So Jeep has 130,000 miles on it. You know, those hoses are kind of old. They were still in pretty good shape, but we're already in here, so I figured I'd just get new ones. Hate to have to come back in here again, right, Steve?
Yeah, well, I hate to have it break down.
Yeah, that
okay,
too.
All right. So we're good there. And now we can take the hose and we can tuck it back down underneath like it was, so it's not going to hit the radiator while we're doing our install. All right, going in. Everything's kind of floating around in here. I got all these rubbers that are in the way. And, it's kind of weird. So try not to knock them off. We got the two top ones started. And I used my pick tool to line it up to get the hole to line up through the rubber shield here and everything to make sure that we are straight. And now we're just gonna tighten it down. And I don't want anything tight until I get the last one in.
Yeah,
and I
which is
get
right
this
over
one
there.
over here. And okay, so I'm using this pick tool, and this is really helping me out here. Good. So now we got to try and get this one in. That one's good. That one's done. Let's do this one. It's tight. And this one we're going to use the gear wrench again. All right, so we've got these things right here for the Jeep here. And we can put them in now, but I'm gonna wait. I wanna get the radiator sitting in the saddle and everything, so I'm trying not to get any restrictions here. And here's my rubber part. That one just fell in.
Yep.
And this one fell in.
Yep.
And what we have to do is we're gonna get this on the outside here, okay? This on the outside. I don't wanna put them in to last, okay? So, we've got our bolts. We can line up for these. But I want to take a look at my transmission lines right now while everything's still kind of floating around to see if I can lock them into place. Oh, look at that, huh? They actually popped right into place. 2 tranny lines.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Yeah, so.
Kind of did.
Yeah, so. All right, and then we have the button plug that's lined up. We got to push this up a little bit and then knock that into place. Okay, put that in. And then we have the one on this side. And this is the one that we had kind of forgotten about, to be honest with you. This one just goes into here. Now,
Right, so we got that bolt in. What I ended up doing is helping Steve to push the radiator forward. He lined it up and kind of ratcheted
came in
it.
with a small pair of pliers,
Yeah.
and we came in from this direction to hold it. We actually have to hold the radiator up in the air to get the air ratchet in there, and then sank it home. So it went in nice and easy. So we're gonna line up the radiator again with the studs on the bottom. That one's in, that one's in. We should be able to catch these 10 millimeters now. Tighten these up. I think that was the last of the crappy part, I think.
Don't even say it. Don't be a jinx.
Got one here, 10. We got one over here. And we've already tightened all of our bolts for the 8 millimeters for the 4 that hold the condenser on. Once we got that in there, we got our 2 button plugs in from the side. Our transmission lines, by miracle, just fell into the sleeves on the bracket. This one does not have a metal bracket that screws to the side of the radiator. The original radiator wasn't that style. So we can put our flaps up through here. After we tighten the radiator down, and it'll suck it all in. We'll get these in place. And let's tighten these 10 millimeters up. The fan clips into these 3 holes down here. The fan's gonna sit into these legs, and then the bottom clipped in with some button plugs. These up, push these back in. And we have 2 bolts left over. Those are 2 for the fans. This one here is the big one for the power steering. So we'll line these all up. Okay, so we got the front of this back together, and then we didn't have, looking down over here, some of these have a harness that ties to the harness. We didn't, but we have that button plug in here that's in there now. And I think we're gonna slip our hose clamp on with our lower radiator hose right now, so that this is all done. Now I can run this clamp around like this so that it's flat, and I can actually get it if I need to. I want my little 5/16 quarter drive ratchet to snug it down. We got our feet down here with dropping the fan into. Okay, I'm gonna stop that one. That was slow. Okay, that's it. Our electrical connector that comes around here, and we have the little plug right here for this button plug to fit in. Plug our connector in. We heard the magic click. We're good. Okay, that's a 10 millimeter. Okay, we got the surge tank in here. It locks down into the shroud here. You just gotta find the notches.
There you go.
It just locks into place. And the hose came around and clipped in over here. Adjusted up nice. All right, that's in. Now we'll get the hose clamp in. The fan is tight, the radiator is all tight. Put that one on. Okay, I'll slip this one on. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes after you put these clamps on, you know, a week later, you should probably just put a wrench on them again. The hose will squish down a little bit. You know, we're gonna pressure test it tonight anyways to make sure there's no leaks. Just have the 3 rubber grommets that you're gonna just find your way to line up. Okay, those are all lined up. And we got the air filter that Tony's gonna buy a new one.
It's perfectly fine.
Just blow it out, right? Yeah.
It's like a t-shirt. You wear it inside out and it's clean again. Or is that a pair of underwear?
Stop scaring me here, people. Okay.
Hey, I've had people asking on the channel, why don't we swear?
Why do we?
Why don't we? I usually edit all that out. We'll have to have a behind the scenes clip.
Yeah.
There you go, I heard it.
Yeah. Clean the housing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's back on tape. Got our electrical connector here. Plug it in, slide the lock down. Okay, it's tight. All right, we're gonna set this back up in place. Line up the holes. We're gonna get some new button plugs for some of this stuff. I got 6 to put here. I use up everything good that we had. For the lights. There's a bunch of these small clips. We just gotta start getting these to line up. And then push them in. There's one over here. a couple of new ones of these. No, there's only 4, so we're good. Okay, the grille's back in, the lights are plugged in, all the button plugs on the top are back in. So we are ready to fill this thing with coolant, and we have to put our splash shield back up underneath the cover that Tony's got on the floor right there.
Yep.
And we're missing some button plugs, so we're gonna find some nice button plugs for those and get those put back in place. Fill our radiator. Tony bought 50/50 antifreeze premix. And we just had a conversation about buying a gallon of concentrate, and it's about $3 more a gallon, and then you just mix it yourself, and it saves you some money. But money's no object, I'm hearing over here.
Yeah, right.
Alright, so we're gonna fill this up. There is no, bleed valve on the top of this by the thermostat housing on this model. So we're going old school. We're gonna put this gallon in it and let it settle and find its way, and then we're gonna go put the shield back on the bottom of it, and then we'll come back to the top and we'll run it outside, 15-20 minutes or so, and burp it. Finish pouring the antifreeze in it. And tomorrow morning when Tony gets up, it's gonna be cold after his run home, and he's gonna double check the coolant level tomorrow in his surge tank. Make sure that it's proper level. I'm gonna take this radiator cap off, and the engine is hot. You will get burned, so be very, very careful.
Yeah,
always check it cool.
Let's take the cap off when it's cold.
I set this in. There it is.
So putting these little button plugs at the bottom of the radiator.
We're missing one, but we're gonna get one for it.
Yeah, I'll have to get one for it. There's 3.
Yeah, we got another one for that. Put those in there, and then we got the shield to put on. But while we get the shield, I'm gonna take advantage of it. We're gonna grease the front end on it. Tony's gonna squeeze the service out of me too, so we'll get this done and grease it. Then we'll put this on. We had a few button plugs, big button plugs that were broken. We have to cut off, so we're gonna put some new ones on there.
So putting the front splash guard back on.
Trying to find these holes up that pain.
Yeah, and then the back, there's those 2 tabs.
There's one.
There's one. There's one over here.
Okay.
Alright. Alright, so putting all the push back and pins back into the front splash shield, and was there about 6 of them?
There's 4 in the front.
4 in the front.
Yeah, and then there's 2 on the back
The
side.
2 we showed you on the back side.
And they're
So
real fat.
yeah.
These are locking on, so we're good. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. We only had 3 original ones that we could save. It's tighter than it was, I'll tell you that. So.
Okay, so we just filled the system up with antifreeze, pressure tested it. I'm letting it run. There's nothing leaking under the Jeep. So that's it, guys. Another repair done. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment or reply back.